Now it's on. No, it's really on. It's on. It's really on.
Today it's on.
Oh no, today it's on.
This is the day.
This is the day. This is the day you've been waiting for, because I've been waiting for it. You've been waiting for it?
This Memorial Day weekend, Shay J.
Oh my God, it's Memorial Day weekend, and this is how you start Memorial Day weekend. We're starting hard. Welcome to the Free Think Zone. It's your girl Shay J on the Brother Jeff Network. I'm super excited to be here with you on this Memorial Day weekend. And we have a very special guest today. But first, I'm gonna hit you with the trigger alert. This is a show that triggers people because you have entered a free think zone. If you're not willing to be exposed to other points of views, tune out now and don't read the comments. You have been warned.
That's right.
Boom, trigger. But I hope this triggers you in a positive way. We know we're living right now in a world full of COVID. It's been COVID-19 that has taken over our world, and a pandemic that none of us could have prepared for us. Not one of us was ready for what took place. Right here in Denver, Colorado, one of the leading cases in COVID, over 1,300 deaths. But yet there is still a survivor. We always talk about the people that have gone away, and we've been sad, and we know that this is a big deal because we have a survivor. So the show goes out to each and every one of the survivors, and then we remember those that have passed away. Today I have a special guest with me. Over 60 days in ICU, 7 weeks on a ventilator. He was the first COVID patient at the Veterans Hospital. He's a pastor at New Covenant, a dedicated lifetime community engagement leader, a civil rights leader, a great husband, and an amazing father. He's now in rehab for 2 weeks, maybe a little longer, we're not quite sure. But the most important thing is that he can add to his list of things a survivor, the one and only Reverend Terrance Hughes.
Big T!
Big T in the house!
Big T!
Big T, Big T, Big T. Welcome. It's so
thank you, Shay.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here.
Brother Jeff Network.
We've been waiting for this day. We've been waiting. It is an honor to have you here. This case, if you guys have not been following, it has been huge in our community because it has an impact right here in our community. We've all been watching with heavy hearts, with prayers, with concerns, saying, when is he gonna be let out? We know during the time that Reverend T went in, he was actually running for a seat in the Colorado State House. So when I tell you how important he is to this community, it is no understatement. He is important to our community, and we're so excited to have you back with us and in great spirits. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So let's just talk a little bit. I know it has been a journey. Tell me, what was your first reaction or response when you found out you were diagnosed with COVID-19?
Well, you know, it was early on.
Yeah.
In the epidemic, in the pandemic. So I didn't have the fear of a catastrophe, you know. So, but I knew it was. I had been reading and seeing things. I knew it was serious.
Yeah.
I knew it was serious. I didn't know how it would affect me, you know, because I'm a relatively healthy man.
Exactly.
And so I've been through a lot of things in my life, medically, and so yeah. So when first hearing about it, it wasn't a matter of fear.
Yeah.
It was really a matter of, okay, something I have to deal with. You know, we're used to dealing with. We've been working with HIV for over 30-some odd years.
Absolutely.
And so we understand epidemiology. We understand how things affect us mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
So that sort of prepared me for the journey a little bit.
Yeah. That's huge because I think no one really understood the pandemic at the time when you were diagnosed. It was extremely early on, you know, so we were all kind of like, oh, it's Big T. We know you're a fighter. We know you're a survivor. So we're like, he's going to be back out and he's going to be right back on the campaign trail and things will be back to normal. And when do you think, were you cautious of when it hit? Like, this is serious. I'm not getting out tomorrow. This is not a 1, 2, 3 thing. This is serious.
Yeah, you know, I actually, because like you said, I was in the campaign mode.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm from Toledo, Ohio originally, but I'm a Denverite. You know, that's who I am. I'm a Denverite.
Absolutely.
And my first concern really was the community. And so I had sat down, and me and my wife had been discussing it. And I said, you know what? The community has to be alert that this is a very serious disease, and there's things we can do to protect ourselves, and we have to look out for those who can't. And that was just on my heart heavy. I was running for office for a reason. And the reason was for the people.
Yeah.
And so getting that information, knowing that I was sick, knowing anyone else could get sick too. If I could get it,
anybody can get it. No, that's real.
Yeah. And so her and I sat down, and I told her, you know, I penned a letter to the community. Some of it, I like to say, was God inspired, because some of it ended up being prophetic, quite frankly. And so that's where I was, and that's what kind of happened. And that was my mindset, you know, really was about, you know, let's get this community together, man.
That was a huge thing, because I think that took a level of bravery. We know when, you know, you're getting diagnosed with this, you're trying to figure out if this is going to be so serious that I need to tell everybody, or should I keep it secretly so I can keep running, and making those decisions and really putting the community at the forefront of the decision. What do you think is something that we as a Black community need to really be aware about? We know that it's hitting Black and brown communities harder than any area, or people just under a certain, you know, poverty line. It's hitting harder. What is something that we should really be aware about during this time?
Well, science. Understanding science is very important. Trusting science is very important. And understanding that and sharing the information. So why is it hitting the Black community so hard?
Yeah.
We have to understand it's hitting certain levels of the Black community really hard.
Absolutely.
So socioeconomically, there's a pattern of where it's going and how it's been affected. And we have to challenge not only ourselves, but our civic leaders, our community leaders, our politicians, to address that, right? Because a lot of people still don't know. They still don't understand. And see, a lot of people, there's levels to this. There's levels to COVID.
Absolutely.
Right? I had a deadly strain of COVID. My wife, unfortunately and fortunately, had a lesser strain, but it tore her up. Right. You know, she was very, very sick. And so there's strains. And so some people are going through the flu type, and they're thinking it's just a flu, and it's not, because they're ignorant. It's just, I've had the flu.
They don't know. Yeah, exactly.
You know, and so we have to continue to educate. We have to continue to lift up, and we got to get our mobilization done better.
Absolutely. I think you hit on so many things, because I've been pushing this conversation about social economics, and knowing when you're at a certain level, you know, there's only so much access you have. And you've seen a lot of people go in and say, hey, I feel sick. And they're like, oh, just go back home. You'll be okay. What is the signs of you won't be back okay? And go and challenge at the doctor. Go challenge, so we don't have another death that could have been prevented. What is one of those signs that you think?
Let me be clear what you're asking. You're saying what are the signs?
Yeah, what's something that you say, no, if you're feeling like this, because, you know, they're sending Black people back home, Black and brown people, if they say, hey, I don't feel too well, what is something you're saying, like, no, indefinitely, if you feel this, challenge the doctors, stay there, don't leave, don't go home?
Well, I think and this goes back to the last question you just asked. So just a little snippet of my journey.
Yes.
I actually had been to the doctor 3 times in that month.
Yeah.
And was never diagnosed with COVID.
Yeah.
Right? And in hindsight, some of those things were symptomatic of COVID. I know that now.
Yes.
But I didn't know that then.
Exactly.
And obviously they didn't know it then. And it took, so that's 3 times me. I'm at the VA. I'm getting this care. Right. Now, conversely, I know someone very dear to me who didn't have any insurance, who went to University Hospital, and they sent her home so quick your head would spin. Yeah. Head would spin, because she had no insurance. Real. They didn't want to deal with it. So that's why I said this social economic piece is real. Serious. Yes. And so you have to be persistent and go back, because they don't want to take care of you. Absolutely. It is a money issue. Yeah. Right? And so no one's going to advocate for you more than yourself or your loved one. And so you have to push it. You have to push it. You know,
You
so
have to.
I hope that answered that part.
No, that absolutely answered. I think that's a huge thing in our community. I want, everybody listening out there, please take this serious. It is hitting, and it's hitting hard. And if we can make sure that if we can stop anything from getting further on the death rate, we want to do that as a community. With you being in the hospital for 60 days, those of you that don't know Pastor Hughes, he's a goer, a doer. I mean, you're in everything from the political side to being, just a great husband, a great leader. You show up for so many of us in so many spaces. When this happened, did you ever say, okay, this is God telling me to slow down?
No.
Okay, what did you hear?
First of all, I didn't have any time to digest it like that. That's number one. Number two, my theology doesn't tell me that God has to strike me with something to slow me down.
That's good.
The consequences of my actions will slow me down. God's given me free choice and free will to make certain things, In hindsight, I can look and see there were aspects of my lifestyle that also probably played a part in me contracting COVID. Like you said, running. I had no rest.
Yeah.
I had my body was tired. And God didn't have to strike me down to slow me down. No. I made some decisions to push it, to push the limit. Yeah. And unfortunately, I came in contact with somebody who was positive. Don't know who or where it came from. And I contracted. So yeah. So I never had a chance to really contemplate that aspect of it, this being me being told to slow down. No, but the reality is I need to slow my butt down.
I like it's like, hey, but that is the reality of it. I love that honesty. What did you learn most during this time? Because I feel like if I know you, I'm sure that there was some level of you touching and agreeing with some people, having some conversations that probably might not have happened. What is something you learned during this time?
Shay, there's so much that has taken place, and so much. I'm still digesting this whole thing. There's levels, like there's so many levels to what I've been through, what my family's been through. Yeah. I do want to say this, that I do know that the community is just off the chain. The support, the overwhelming support that my wife received and that I received during this time, it is hard for me to put into words just what that feels like. Yeah. I have children, I have grandchildren. There's nothing more important to me than my family, but there's nothing more important to me than my wife. And the fact that people stepped up to care for her when I couldn't is huge for me. Absolutely huge for me. And they continue, as we're on this road of healing, they continue to check on her, to reach out to her, to support her. She's a strong woman. She's a warrior.
Yes,
but warriors need support too.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing that I would say, Shay, that I really learned, how deep this community is. Yeah. And I just love it. I just love it.
I absolutely love that. And I think we love that community did wrap their arms around and community came together. And there are so many people right now that still are looking for that silver lining in all this. They still haven't, got the financial relief that they need. They haven't got the support they're looking for. What is a message that you can give those people that haven't really found the hope right now in the midst of this pandemic?
I think that's the hope. Yeah. Is a huge piece. And I think our ability I've been trying to digest why this happened with me. And then I talked to some people here and there. I haven't talked to a lot. Yeah. And hope comes up. Hope comes up for them that I can make it. I can get through it. And I think hope gives you that optimism to keep striving. The God in you to come alive and take control of your situation. You not be a victim, but to take control of your situation the best you can, to hope that there's a better tomorrow than there is today. I mean, that's what this is all about. We don't have a vaccine yet. We don't have a lot of things, but there's a hope that this is going to turn around. There's a hope that we're going to be able to protect our elderly. So we have science to depend on right now. Absolutely. And so in that hope, We have to be hopeful as we spread the message of safety,
Yeah.
of love, and how do we connect with each other with this thing.
That's huge. Being out of connection for a while, I'm sure it really puts an emphasis on how important connection is, and being away from your family and the community, and just seeing all these, there's so many, like you said, so many levels to this thing right here. What I know, this journey is just now, really beginning on this other half of now being released into rehab. What is something that you're excited and looking forward to on this next step of your journey?
I don't know.
I love it.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
Just to be transparent, I have no idea yet. I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And the world changed in 60 days.
Oh my God.
The world changed in 60 days. I woke up, and there was a TV in the ICU.
Yeah.
And I wake up with my bit of consciousness and see food lines. Food lines. And that's why I said a bit of the letter I put out ended up being a bit prophetic on some levels, because who was in that food line? Part of my messaging when I was running for office was one calamity, and you're gonna find out you weren't really middle class.
There we go. Boom.
And here we are. And here we are.
Here we are. That is immensely prophetic. And we're watching this, and I'm so grateful to the people in the community that are helping facilitate this food struggle and helping, making sure that we can touch where we can. But literally, so many people were one paycheck away from their whole entire world being changed and rocked. And I think now it's more than ever, people are having to figure out what their purpose is and where they stand.
And that's my issue.
Yeah.
So you said, well, what are you looking forward to? You know what I'm looking forward to? Hugging and kissing my wife.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I haven't been able to wrap my head around the issues all the way. I have to take care of myself. One thing I'm clear on is I have to make sure I take time to heal and take care of myself. And although God has been moving so miraculously in this whole process, from the incident to rehab, when I have time, and another day we'll talk more.
Yes.
The stuff that God has been doing is just absolutely mind blowing, and so I haven't taken the opportunity to say, oh, come and go do this next now.
Right.
I'm gonna run and do that. No, running and doing that is probably what got me in this predicament.
Maybe.
So.
I appreciate that. I know you have to get back to rehab. And just one last message that you would like to leave to the community. We're excited to have you back and to know that we have a survivor in our community and somebody that's been fighting for us, that we were able to come together and fight for through prayer and positive thoughts. What is your last message to the community?
It won't be my last message to you.
Your last message today. No, just today. There's more. On your first edition interview, with your last message. Wait, yeah, you're right. Let's rewind that. You're on your first exclusive interview. What is your last message for the day to the community?
Shay, my message is that I love this community.
Yeah.
My wife loves this community, and it's deep. Prayer works. If you don't have any faith, you don't have a connection with a religious tradition, whether it be African or whether it be whatever. I encourage you to get one.
Absolutely.
I encourage you to get one. You need faith. You need hope, and we need these things to beat this. We need this to come together as a community. The love here is tremendous, but there's some things at work that's trying to get us to fear. Absolutely. And not come together. We have to be cautious on all levels and be diligent about this thing so we can eradicate it. So we got to share the message on how do we stay safe. Wearing a mask is how do we stay safe. Yeah. Wearing gloves, you stay safe. Right? Yes. Keeping your social distance right now, you stay safe. Yes. Encouraging each other, reach out and talk to somebody. We can't be with each other physically, but thanks to this computer, I'm talking to you from dang near in the foothills, right?
Exactly.
So we can reach out and still love on each other through this connection, right?
Absolutely.
So I just want to encourage the community to continue to love on each other during this time.
over 60 days, and now you're out speaking clear as day and still inspiring our community while you were making sure that you get better. Please take the time you need to heal. We thank you for the contribution you've always given us, and just know we're still standing with you. I appreciate you taking time right here on the Brother Jeff Network. We are so excited to watch you through this journey, and we welcome you back when you're ready to share more of your story. Thank you again.
Big T!
Big T, we appreciate you.
I do want to say as I close out that I'm so proud of you and what you're doing. And black media is important. All levels of black media are important, whether it's the written, whether it's the 5-star news, whether it's the Denver Weekly News, and the Brother Jeff Network, your own branded network is important. And it was important for me to speak with you today as we move forward. You know, you're just as important as being on TMZ or being on Entertainment Tonight or CNN. You guys are the CNN for our community. And so I honor you and thank you for allowing me to share a bit of testimony and love back to our community.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. It means a lot. Thank you for always supporting black media. We appreciate you. Peace and blessings to the one and only Pastor Reverend Terrance Hughes, COVID-19 survivor, to add to his many list of accolades. Thank you.
God bless you all.
God bless you. Free Think Zone, you heard it here first. The first exclusive interview with the one and only Terrance Hughes.
There it is.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a miraculous ride. It has been a miraculous ride. Literally, we were here doing all this when it first started out. He was with us just 2 days before he was hospitalized. And to see one of your own go through this, you really, it puts things in perspective. And, we joked in the beginning, like, oh, black people can't get this and all the funny things that happen. But when it happens so close to home, the conversation changes. It becomes more of a conversation at your dinner table, and you have to think, how do you digest this now? How do you keep people safe, the people that you love safe? How do you fight back? And this is why we're telling you, social distancing is not over. We still need to be smart. It's Memorial Day weekend. I know what that means, barbecue, hanging, kicking it, but please just be smart still about what you do, especially realizing that it's not just the most vulnerable that are affected. There's so many more that are affected, especially in a social economic stance where we don't have the same amount of access, or you don't have, the greatest doctors, or you have to be one of those essential workers that they're not clapping for, but yet you're still essential and have to show up and put food on your table. We want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can in our community to stop the spread of COVID-19 and to be smart. So still continue to wash your hands, put your mask on, 6 feet apart, be smart. And we're really excited that you're with us today. Remember, we are powered by the people. So that means 7 donations keeps us up and going. Just 7 donations.
That's right.
If you go to brotherjeff.com right now, remember, we don't have the big people backing us, but we have a community. And we want to keep bringing community conversation to you. So that means go to brotherjeff.com. Any amount of donation, I challenge you to just give $1. Anything goes a long way, because what is a better nation? Donation.
That's right.
There we go. Donation, donation, donation. Go to brotherjeff.com. We're powered by the people. And this to you, once again, is brought to you by the one and only Chubby Girls, educating the natural scalp one head at a time. If you got those skinny curls, make them chubby. Make sure you're still practicing self-care. I've been talking to you guys about self-care, how important it is. As the weather's changing, we're starting to come out of quarantine. And one thing I was talking about, I was a special guest on a show the other night, and that was one of the conversations we were having, like, what do you know? What should people be doing right now? What should people be doing? And I say there's no right or wrong. And I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do it, but the one thing that I highly suggest is taking care of yourself during this time so you come out better than ever, whatever that means for you, investing in yourself, making sure that we're staying hydrated and doing the things healthy-wise, but also investing in yourself mentally and doing some self-development work.
Shay J, First Lady Rochelle Hughes is sending you lots of love.
I love you, First Lady Rochelle Hughes. Thank you for making sure we stay connected. I love you, and I appreciate you. And that is one strong, phenomenal woman. So everybody that poured into her, I know you will be blessed, because when I tell you, she will pour right back into you and has been doing it for years. And they say behind every man, I like to say beside every man, is a even solider woman. I made that part up, but a solid woman. And that woman right there is an amazing force. And it's important that we celebrate people while they're here. So thank you for your contribution to the community. You have always been a phenomenal woman.
The research department, Taz Coleman, said that interview in Big T just gives us hope.
Hope. That's it. If we could just, I think he hit it on the nail on the head with that. If we could just spread one thing, it's hope and love. Because a little hope goes a long way. A little love goes a long way. And I think if we just start practicing that as an everyday thing, how can I bring a little bit of love to the room? How can I hold on a little bit, a little bit longer? We'll be okay. There is a lot of deaths going on. We're experiencing a lot of things right in our community, but in the midst of it, hope. Hope is what it's about. 60 days in ICU. They were saying like, there's no way he's gonna be okay. They even asked, do we do a do not resuscitate? And when they start asking those questions, things get a little bit scary. Do not resuscitate means may not be looking so well. But when this man's coming out and able to have a full conversation with us and thank us for pouring into him and he's poured into us, I mean, that's hope. That's what faith looks like. That's what surviving looks like. And if you're here today, you're a survivor, whether you know it or not. Because I know a lot of us probably had it and just didn't get tested. So I say, take this day and remember you survived for a reason. You have a purpose. Let's live life to the fullest.
Gloria Smith is sending love from Chicago.
Thank you, Gloria. Chi-Town.
You know that's Dr. Vincent Harding's niece.
Oh, okay.
Gloria Smith.
Thank you, Chi-Town love. I like that. And whoever, is dropping me off mass, I say thank you. I don't know who this is.
That's Chap Rap.
What? Thank you. Appreciate the love. I like this. I love coming in and getting a little gift, so appreciate you. You guys make sure you check us out. If you didn't know as well, BBI, the Black Business Initiative, we will be doing our Black Capital Seminar tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up. Go to BBIProfessional.com. We are doing a Black Capital. We know the biggest thing we talk about is not having access, and we want to make sure you have access. We want to help you in a time discover how to take your business to the next level, how to take your personal brand to the next level, how to get the access to capital that you may need to get to the next level, because we know, okay, we can talk about it, but if we don't have the money to make the moves, then it doesn't matter. So please go to BBIProfessional.com and find out more how you can be a part of the Black Capital workshop tomorrow. Is going to be great with some great resources as well to take your finances and your business to the next level. Like I said, nobody's coming to save us, so we have to reach in and do it for our community ourselves, and that's what we're here to help you bridge that gap.
Shay J, the president, 45, did a press conference today. He said churches, mosques, synagogues, etc. are essential, and go back to church.
Go back to church. Is that what he told you?
He said they're reopened immediately.
I said if we don't listen to him about a lot of things, I just say be cautious of how you go back to church. I'm not gonna tell y'all where to go back and how to and when to go back, but please just be smart still, because you have to think about gatherings with lots of people crying. Because now I know this church is gonna be the best church service that we've ever had. So you're gonna be slinging some snot, some tears are gonna be coming down. You're gonna want to hug Sister Avery because you haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, months. Let's be smart, my people. Let's do this responsibly. And I do feel like there's something, responsibly that everybody can do and figure out how to, get back to whatever your new normal is going to look like. But do it responsibly. And we've never taken his advice just for great, solid advice. So don't do it now. And like somebody said, when they start opening up all the other things,
Sister Mary Teller said,
just
do the opposite of 45. Whatever he says, just
I wanted to say
opposite.
that too. Whatever that is. Hey, I'm just saying. He told you guys to drink Clorox and peroxide and whatnot. So are we really listening to him? Let's be smart. And let's make sure we're still taking care of our own and our community and thinking about how we get back. And then we're still just cautious. Just be cautious, you guys. It's not over yet. I know it's going to be a nice hot weekend, but we're going to be smart how we get back to the swing of things. And then you're going to make sure you're part of the greatest donation, the greatest nation donation. Go to Brother Jeff right now, giving any form of donation to keep us up and running. Remember, we're powered by the people. But if you don't give us the power, people, come on, power us up. Go to brotherjeff.com.
Speaking of power, they said that Big T is making miraculous leaps and bounds. You see, he's strong.
Yeah.
And that faith and those prayers work.
No, prayers work. Especially prayers work when you work the prayer. And that's the thing, is like you can't say a prayer and not believe it. And that's how faith really works. You got to activate that thing, whatever you're doing, just like saying positive mantras. And I don't say this is in a religious way, but in a spiritual way. Whatever it is, when you believe in a higher being and you put those positive affirmations out, those positive mantras, those prayers out, and you believe what you're saying, oh, it works. And then mess around and have somebody that touch and agrees with you, get a group of people and y'all all talking about the same thing, it works. So you got to be careful what you're putting in the atmosphere. Be careful about what you're saying. How are you enlightening yourself? One of the things we work with all our mentees, and I still tell adults, we need to practice this. What are your 5 mantras you're living by this week? Get them. What are your 5 affirmations?
Katrina said she loves that Big T said, get some faith, even if it's not Christianity. He said,
Get
whatever
some
your
faith,
faith
whatever
is,
it is.
go get you something.
That's real leadership. He's like, you don't have to follow what I follow. You don't have to believe what I believe, but go get you some. And that's what's necessary, because I truly believe if you don't believe in anything bigger than you, how do you find hope in the worst position of time? You know, how do you find hope in hopeless moments if you don't believe in anything bigger than you? You have to have something that's bigger, that's better, something that you can grab onto. If whether you feel like it's inside of you, outside of you, you got to just find something. Especially in uncertain times.
I think Dolores is about to have church right now anyway. She said she's about to go out and shout.
Just go on and shout then. Just go on. I like that shout. Y'all missed it, Brother Jeff had a good shout. Y'all don't even know. His shout was kind of on cue. No, you do. I think so. We've lost so many people during this time. And what I like is, like, shout out to Theo Wilson. He's been really challenging that. How many people have survived, though? We can talk about all that. We know that the news is always meant to give you fear and worry and anxiety. That's the job. But if you're powered by the people, guess what? We're unbought and we're unbossed. So we're here to give you a little bit of hope, a little bit of faith, and say there's still survivors in the midst of all this chaos. And we can still come out stronger together as a community. And I believe in each and every one of you to do what's right during this time and make sure you're taking care of yourself and then your community. Remember, you have to put your life jacket on first before you try to save anybody else.
Your mama's shouting.
She's shouting too?
Yes.
Oh, all right now.
She got her hallelujah going on. That's your mama.
That's your mama.
You know, Jamont. Everybody on here, I think we having church.
Are we having church?
Yeah.
It might have happened.
Howard Child
might have just said that.
He said faith can be belief in people and community and spirit.
It can. It absolutely can. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And I think so many times we get disconnected because we're trying to tell people who to believe, how to believe, when to believe, what they got to look like to believe. Stop. Let's find a silver lining.
Manushka, head of and founder of Chubby Curl, said, that's right, pray to God, but row for shore.
Boom. There we go.
Like, that's kind of like pray and tie your camel.
Pray and tie your camel up. Because one thing I do know is God gave common sense and good sense. And I love that that's what Pastor Terrance resorted on. He said, you know, I can say whatever. We can be like, oh yeah, God wanted me to stop. But no, God gave me common sense to know that I was running a little too much, that I wasn't taking a nap, that I wasn't taking care of myself to the best of my ability. So don't wait on the signs. Do the right things now. And this is why I was having this conversation with the 10 Tigers the other day about the things that we can do to make sure that we're living our best and doing our best. Why are we not making sure that we're hydrating ourselves? Why are we not making sure that we're going out for walks and exercising? Why are we not making sure that we're having our vegetables? Why are we not making sure we take a week off of pork? We take a week off of beef. We take a week off of carbs. We take a week off of sugar. We take a week off of drinking. Why are we not doing things to challenge ourselves to be better?
Helen said the community just got a big boost this afternoon with seeing Pastor Big T.
There we go.
Got this now.
That's what it's about. That's why we're here for you, community, to see that together we can. And the stories that they want us to believe that we're all dying, that we can't make it, that we don't have enough, we do. We do. We're great. We can make it through this. We got this. Yeah. Even when it gets hard, we got this. Even when it doesn't look like what we had planned, we got this. Every single thing that I said, oh, this was my plan, it doesn't look like that. But my word for this season is pivot. And if you start listening around, you'll hear it more and more, pivot. It's not, oh, everything stopped, it holds it, but you got to pivot sometimes. And sometimes you're just pivoted to get in the right alignment of where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. You know, for me, I've really been grateful for this time of silence in a place that I am running and going 24/7. Not that I'm not on Zoom meeting 3,600, 200, a million. I am. I definitely am on that Zoom meeting. But there's been a level of silencing and saying, okay, I knew what Shay wanted in the midst of chaos, but what does Shay want in the midst of stillness. And it's okay if that conversation changed. It's okay if that want changed. And I think we have to find a silver lining in the moment that we didn't know we were going to receive, but yet everybody's been saying, if I just had a little bit more time, if I had a little bit more this, if I had a little bit more that. So when you get it, even though it doesn't look like what you thought it would look like, maybe you can find that silver lining. Because self-development has been a beautiful thing in this moment. And even when that was just being chaotic in the pandemic. Shout out to my guy, John Bowman. He'll be coming up next. So that means you don't tune out, you tune in and you stay tuned in. Park Hill's own John Bowman will be in the building delivering some news. Everybody wrapped up, super wrapped up. They take the wrap ups to the next level. If you don't know we're safe in here, we're super safe. Shout out again to my new mask. Appreciate it. Super excited to have the one and only Terrance Hughes on today. I want to thank you again for giving us the first exclusive interview. It means a lot when they recognize black media as being just as essential and important in the midst of not, he could have took it anywhere and he brought it right here to us first. So thank you again, Pastor Reverend Terrance Hughes, for giving us the first interview right here at the Brother Jeff Network. We appreciate you. Thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in today to the Free Think Zone. I appreciate you. I salute you again. Go to brotherjeff.com. Even if you just give $1, we need 7 donations a day to keep us up and running. Stay tuned. My guy, John Bowman, will be on right after. I'm your girl, Shay J, signing out. Remember, community, if you go down swinging. You might score a knockout. Rumble on, community. Rumble on.
Shay J. She pulls it off again. John Bowman, Shay J is the real deal.
Namaste.
The real deal.
Why, thank you. I'll take that.
We ain't never doubted.
You can't doubt me with that
What's
on.
going to happen though?
What?
You got to do 3 o'clock a couple of times since you've been on 2 every week.
Ooh, he just came for me. He just came for me.
Look at John.
I didn't come last week. No, you had last week. He had last week.
Yeah.
He took last week.
I was with Jenna
He took Jenna Griswold at 2 o'clock. He took both of our spots last week. So tell him he needs to find a different day.
He was on Thursday.
And this is 4.
Oh, he was on Thursday.
This is 3 and that's
Oh,
4.
you have Thursday.
Shay J looks good at 2 o'clock though.
He's Thursday.
Thank you.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
You gotta do ladies first.
And I leave you the news. So isn't that so kind of me?
Hey, Shay J, before you go, what has been in the news that you've been looking at real big lately?
Ooh.
Look at here. Joe Biden got busted.
Oh, I haven't been looking at that. I've been trying to figure out who the running mate's going to be, what woman it is.
He's lost. He's already lost. It ain't no matter. If he don't take Michelle Obama, he loses.
Michelle's not going to run with him, so that's not going to happen.
Because Shay J, if you call Michelle Obama and ask her to just do it for the people,
do it for the people.
She'll do it.
I'm gonna call her and ask her to do it for the people. She's on my vision board, so I know her and I are going to collide soon. But I don't know what's going to really happen. But we're going to collide really soon.
Because
I've been trying to figure out who the woman's going to be because I think that makes a huge difference.
What the people are talking now is Klobuchar, and that's going to be a loss.
Well,
no, that would just be crazy. I don't think he's that delusional.
Who would he take then?
He's going to take Michelle Obama.
He said, I'm not taking a black woman.
Michelle Obama.
That's what I
said.
He
well,
did not come out and say that.
John Bowman seems like he's ready.
He's ready because he's ready. He's fired up. You look at him, ready to go and fired up. Fired up, ready to go. The cleaning crew's coming next though, so stay tuned for the cleaning crew. You know you like to watch this part. This is your favorite part of the show. I am off. I thought I was off too, and then I realized I wasn't. And then he started talking to the thing. I'm out of here. I thought I was off.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
You're so crazy.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Cleaning crew.
It's hot.
Man, Gerald, you ain't been at the Fantastic Sands in a minute.
Cleaning crew, we about to get it down. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back
with JB in just a second.
JB and his equality shirt.
Man,
we'll be right back.
We got something for you.
You can't get the